Evening everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my weekly Sunday share. So this week I'm going to be featuring on a card fold for you. I'm going to give it a few more seconds for everyone to join me. And I'm just going to go over a few reminders. So the hostess code for March, don't forget to use this code when you shop online with me. If your order is $50 to $149.99, you earn some free products from me. So don't forget to use the hostess code. Paper Pumpkin, only a few more days left. So we are celebrating our 7th year with Paper Pumpkin, and everyone's going to get an additional stamp set in their kit this month. So 2 stamp sets. So make sure you're subscribed by March 10th to receive the special anniversary 7-year Paper Pumpkin. Door prize for the month of March, I have the Real Red Roost ribbon and the flower faceted gems. That'll be for anyone that places orders with me during the month of March, and that does include Paper Pumpkin customers. So good evening everyone, I can see you all coming on. I have a really neat card for you tonight. I'm actually going to show you the supplies I'm using first. I'm using the Dress to Impress stamp set along with the All Dressed Up dies, and I am using quite a few dies tonight. Let me dig them all out. Let me see. I think that's it. So I got 6 dies here. For ink colors, I'm using Daffodil Delight, Gorgeous Grape, Mint Macaron, and Memento Tuxedo Black. Now I'm going to have to show you the card so I can explain the rest of them. I'm also using the Starburst Punch. So let me bring in the card. Now this is a card I made with my club girls this week and they really loved it, so I thought I would share it with you tonight. This is, so it's flat. You can see here that it's nice and flat when it lays in the closed position. This is called a bay window card fold. So there's quite a few folds on the front. And when you open it, there's a little lipstick here that's in place with stamping dimensionals, and it actually holds just like an easel card. And this is the shape that you see. It looks just like a bay window. Now this card, inspiration is from Rachel Tessman. She actually came across a larger card and made her own measurements. Her and I talked about it the other day. So I'm going to give her credit for this because these are her measurements. Now I'm going to use the same pack of designer paper from the Best Dressed, but I'm using a different pattern, so I'm going to have a few different colors also. So let me move all of these aside. For the card base, I'm using Purple Posy. I don't have anything scored because I'm going to score with you because there's quite a few score lines tonight. 11 by 4 1/4, a scrap piece. I've gone ahead and used the stitch shaped dies and cut this circle out, which would be number 2 of the circle. We need a tassel. Now this is my last one. I used them all for my classes. Our tassels come in 3 different colors. This is the Pretty Peacock. A scrap piece of white for stamping. Now I'm also going to do the inside for you because I finished using the piece of designer paper that I had left over. So the inside is Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4. We have 2 little tiny pieces of cardstock. This is Gorgeous Grape. It measures 4 by 3/8 of an inch. I know you guys probably cringe every time there's an 1/8 of an inch on the end. And I'm going to use this, this side for designer paper for this card. So the first thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do the stamping first just so I can cut everything out, and then I'll show you how to do the card fold. Let me bring the card back in. Now what's great about this stamp set, I'll show you a close-up. All of the images are colored in with a stamp. There's no coloring involved. The whole stamp set does it for you. I'm going to start out with a lipstick. Then we're going to go to the perfume bottle. And then we need 2 shoes. Shoes come in a pair of 2, so we're going to use 2 of them. And let's see what else I need. I also need 1 of each of the flower. These are roses. This one has a cluster of 2, and the other one is just a solo. And then lastly, we need the sentiment. Now the sentiment says life is short, buy the shoes. So we have to have shoes on the front of our card. Makes sense. Now comes the fun part. We're going to bring in these little splotchy images. I call them splotchy. Let me open up my ink pads. And let me see, I'm gonna use the mint macaron. This is the big splotchy image. I'm just gonna color the perfume bottle. That's all that's gonna need. And then I'm gonna use, let's see, Gorgeous Grape. I'm gonna do the lipstick. We're gonna have some purple lipstick tonight. I'm also gonna do the small flower. And then this one will color the 2 other flowers. And then this long one, we're gonna do, let's see, I'm gonna do yellow for the lipstick holder, for the sentiment, and I'm trying to decide what color shoes I want. Yellow shoes would be kind of funky, so I think I'm gonna go with Gorgeous Grape. So let me go ahead and clean off this image because we're using the same one. I'm actually going to make the shoes a little lighter, so I'm going to stamp off on my scrap. Stamp my shoes. That looks kind of funky, but it's not once we cut it out. Okay, so there's all of my images. See how quickly I colored those? Now let's go ahead and bring in the big shot. That way our cutting will be all done. And I'm going to try to do as many as I can with 1 crank. Of course the shoes we can't do, we can only do 1 at a time. So there's my perfume bottle. Then we've got the lipstick. So this card is going to be really colorful. And then we'll cut out 1 shoe and we'll have to come back and cut out the other one. And I am using washi tape just so that my pieces won't move. Okay, there's 1 flower. I'm hoping I'm lining these up correctly. I have that camera in my face. Here's the 2nd flower. And then we have the little sentiment layer. So I'm just going to add that, try to center that. And we got 1 more piece of washi tape here. Now, let me run that through the big shot. Oh, Carol is saying, woohoo, purple lipstick. It kind of will go with the purple hair that everybody has lately. I think that's so funny. That would not be for me, but I do see a lot of people doing it. Okay, there's my sentiment. So all we got left to do now is to cut out 1 more shoe. Let me just remove all of these dies. So you see, that wasn't too bad. I was able to cut 6 pieces all at once. They should have given us 2 shoe dies. They come in pairs, so we should have had 2 of them. Okay, so let's bring all of our little pretty pieces in. So there's the sentiment. We've got the 2 shoes. So you can see how pretty that is once it's cut out. You don't have that color seeping right way outside of the shoes. Okay, so there's those. Now the next step is going to be to do the scoring. And I actually have a little cheat sheet here, and I'm also going to add it to the video, the post of the video once I'm done. So I'm going to bring in Purple Posy. Now look at all these wonderful fractions. 3/8, 1 7/8, 3 5/8, 5 1/8, and 5 1/2. If you have this scoring tool, very easy. 3/8. All you need to do is count 3 lines. So 1, 2, 3. 1 7/8 is the one before the 2. 3 5/8 is the one after 3 1/2. 5 1/8, 5 plus 1, and then 5 1/2. That's it. Look how simple that was. That's all the scoring we're going to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold on all of the score lines. And you'll see how easy this card is. Okay, this one's going to fold in the opposite direction, so the one on the end. Okay, now we need to cut all of the designer paper. So I'm going to bring in my little mini trimmer. For you guys that just joined Stamping Up, isn't this a great trimmer? And you know you only have until March 31st to purchase this. If you join my team, you can actually get this for free for joining, along with a package of designer paper and then an additional free stamp set. Let me bring this back in. So now designer paper, I just went ahead and cut it 6 by 4. We're going to do 2 pieces, 1 1/4, 1 piece, 1 1/2. But what I want to do is I want my designer paper to flow when I glue it on here. So I'm actually going to go 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4. So let's move this over to 1 1/4. And I'm also going to place them side by side so I'll know which one goes where. 1 1/2. 1 1/4. And then this one is the one that's going to go on the inside. We've got the leftover piece that goes on the inside. So now we can start gluing all of the pieces. So I'm going to start out by gluing these two little skinny pieces. We're going to have one on each end. Let me make sure that's centered. And then the other one on the other end. That just adds just a little splash of color. So again, these are 3/8 of an inch wide. Now I'm going to start at the left and glue this one first. And it fits right in the middle. This one is a little bit larger. That's the 1 1/2 inch wide. Look how pretty these colors are against the purple posy. Here's the third one. And because I have one piece left, I'm going to go ahead and bring the Whisper White and glue this to the inside. And it's going to go right on the edge, lined up with the edge. Whoops. I shouldn't have pressed down on that one. Okay, so there's the inside. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the inside because we have a little bit of stamping to do on the inside also. Now, in order for this to fold flat on the end, we're going to glue this little section down right here. So I'm going to put glue over that. And we're going to press down. So that one will be flat. That's why you're gluing it on the inside. Let's go ahead and do the sentiment. And that says, be as bold as your lipstick. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that to the inside. And then again, we're going to use this same little image here. I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape, but stamp off and just add that on top of the sentiment. Just adds a little bit of color. So now we're ready to glue everything to the outside of the card. So this is the Gorgeous Grape circle I've gone ahead and cut. I'm going to bring in Purple Posy with the Starburst Punch. And then we've got our little tassel. So the first thing I'm going to actually do is glue down the lipstick. because this serves as your stopper for to open up your card, what you do is you use dimensionals. You're going to place this, let me bring the other card back in so you can see it. You're going to place this enough on the inside so that it's going to hold your card open. There, see how that acts as a stopper already? Nice and quick. I'm going to glue the purple posy circle to my gorgeous grape circle. And because this opens quite a bit, you know, back and forth, a lot of movement, I'm going to actually use liquid glue and just put some in the center, just so it can handle all of the movement. And we're going to glue that just a little bit above center. Okay, the next step is gluing the perfume bottle flat. That's going to go a little bit on the outside of the circle. And then I'm going to glue, let's see, this one glues flat. So let me just go ahead and add dimensionals to my other pieces. So the shoes and the solo flower, the larger one. And then we have the sentiment layer. So let's go ahead and add the shoes first, because then we can just tuck everything in that we need to tuck. So there's one shoe. Purple shoes, I love them. What do you guys think? There's the other shoe. Here's the flower that I'm just going to take and tuck under. Now this one I'm going to go ahead and glue flat. And then we're going to add the sentiment layer. And the last thing we're going to do is add the little tassel. So there's my little sentiment. And for the tassel, what I did is I actually scrunched up 2 glue dots. Oh, I love all the hearts, you guys. You guys love this, don't you? Isn't it the neatest card? So I've got 2 scrunched up glue dots. I'm just going to push that under the sentiment and press it in place. And then I'm going to tuck it under the flower. So there's the card. Look how neat that is. Look how nice and quick. So again, let me open this one so you can see the inside. And then there's the one for tonight. And then again, it's in the shape of a bay window. That's why it's called a bay window card fold. So I hope you guys liked my card for tonight. That was pretty quick. Next week, I'm not sure. I think it's my Step It Up Sunday next Sunday, or it's either my technique. I can't remember which one, but I will be back next Sunday at 7:30 p.m. for my Sunday share. I hope you have a good week, everyone. See you later.